Bro, you don't need more discipline. What you need is one small win that your brain can't ignore. And there's actually a mechanism behind this, which is what I'm going to cover in this video. So let's get into it. So, for example, you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and you don't. You tell yourself you're going to not eat the junk food and you eat it. You tell yourself you're not going to do this and you don't do it. Or you tell yourself you're going to do this and you don't. And you tell yourself you make all these little promises to yourself and you break basically all of them. And you think the problem is that you're lazy or you don't have any willpower or you don't have any discipline. But the problem is that all of those broken promises, even though they might seem insignificant in the moment, they stack up. Think of them like little defeats. They all add up, and eventually you just feel awful. These little defeats have become a mountain of defeats. Okay? But it's way deeper than that though. So hear me out. First of all, the beautiful part about it is that it's actually kind of relief, what I'm about to tell you. First of all, your brain is keeping score. Understand that. In the sense that every single time you say you're going to do something and you don't, your brain follows that away as a data point, right? Your brain treats your behaviors as evidence about who you are, about your identity. You say you're going to wake up early and you snooze it. So your brain doesn't go, "Oh, okay, that was a one-time thing. All right." It doesn't go like that. It goes, "Okay, noted. This is what he does." Boom. Your identity is built from evidence. And then guess what? The next time you say you're gonna do something, your brain already has on file that you don't follow through. You have the identity of a guy who doesn't follow through. Is that what you actually want? So it doesn't even try to fight against you when you try to just bail out and not do the thing. When you try to just skip the gym. When you try to just skip the healthy food. When you try to just not watch porn or whatever it is, right? Or not do the drugs, right? But the thing is that you told your brain who you already are through your actions. Your identity is built through your behaviors. Your behaviors act as evidence to your brain, and that's how your brain builds your identity. So, and your brain it's tracking everything. Every broken promise to yourself acts as evidence. And in the same way, every kept promise acts in the same way that it stacks, but in a positive way. And also, understand that your identity isn't some fixed thing you were born with. Think of your identity sort of like a file that your brain is just keeping up in real time based on what you actually do, based on your actions. Not what you say you were gonna do, not what you meant to do, but based on your actions. So let's run through a scenario right quick. Let's say you actually get up early. Just one time, right? The one morning, boom, you wake up and you get out of bed even though it felt awful. And yeah, don't get me wrong, yeah, it feels awful, 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 awful. Like I don't like getting up early either. Like I want to stay in bed. It's cold, the floor is cold, the air is cold. Just want to stay in bed. It's so comfy, right? But guess what happens after 10 minutes? You feel good. Not just like okay, not like just feel like woken up. You actually feel good about it. It's like you feel accomplished about yourself. So, and that feeling isn't random either. It's not like, yes, I did the thing. It's not just that. That's your brain updating the file. Got me? So, it just got a new piece of evidence that contradicts the old identity or the current identity per se. And that matters so much because your brain isn't just receiving evidence of okay, you woke up early once. It's evidence toward I am someone who does what he says. It's evidence towards I am someone who keeps his word, who follows through on his word. Okay? So, and the best thing about it is that once your brain gets that dopamine hit from following through on your words, guess what? It wants more of it. Your brain gets addicted to that dopamine hit. And the same way that your brain can get addicted to the dopamine hits from scrolling, porn, junk food, drugs, whatever it is, You know, those things that spike dopamine really fast and really, really high, right? That dopamine hit to your brain from doing those positive things, the evidence stacking in your favor is addictive on its own. Your brain gets addicted to it. So the next time it becomes a little easier than last time because your brain already wants to get that feeling once again. That's why just have more willpower is like such shitty advice. I just keep hearing around. It's like willpower is just like trying to sort of override your identity with force, like every single time from scratch, just like drawing from like your inner strength. And it's exhausting. You know it's exhausting, and it won't take you far. It's like you'll stretch the rubber band as far as you can with your willpower, but you know eventually it'll snap back, bro. So you'll feel again when the rubber band snaps back that you're like at square one once again. But that's another trap in and of itself, though, because you may feel like you're back at square one, but you're actually not. You may feel like you're resetting your progress, but you're actually not. You see, one broken promise doesn't reset your identity, it just adds more evidence to the sort of identity file. The guy who's broken his word to himself 1,000 times isn't going to magically flip that story with one good morning. And he's also not going to destroy it with one bad morning either. You see how this works? It's all about compounding. What you have to understand is that it takes time. It's all about compounding, but it's so worth it. And every time you follow through on your word, that's evidence, a vote towards being the guy who follows through on his word. Think as every action. Think of like everything you do. Like think of everything you do as a vote towards your identity. So let's say today you woke up and you skip the gym. Boom, that's a vote towards being someone who skips on the gym, who doesn't go to the gym, okay? Let's say, for example, vice versa. Another day, you wake up and you do go to the gym and you eat healthy. Boom, that's a vote towards being a guy who eats healthy and who goes to the gym. Get it? So what you have to do is you just have to keep stacking votes in the direction you want rather than against it. Stacking votes towards the identity that you want. Stacking votes toward who you want to be. You have to act like you're already him to become him. To become, you have to be. Okay? And you might be thinking like, okay, I've broken like countless promises to myself for like years now. I'm ruined. I can't change. Fuck me. But no, you couldn't be farther from the truth. Think about how a bank looks at your credit, okay? It's not like a permanent score that's locked in forever. Okay, it changes, it fluctuates. It's recent behavior and weighted behavior. Like, sorry, the recent behavior is weighted heavier than the old behavior. For example, someone who missed payments for years but has 6 months of perfect payments right now looks completely different from someone who has been consecutively missing and missing and missing and missing their payments. And of course, I'm not saying that the old stuff just disappears, but the thing is that the recent pattern takes over. And also, don't just dwell on the past. Like Alan Watts says, you have no obligation to be the person you were 5 minutes ago. I'm gonna say that again. You, bro, I'm talking to you, not anyone else. You, you have no obligation to be the person you were 5 minutes ago. Okay? On the way to improving, on the way to becoming the man you want to be, your dream, your ideal self, you just forgive yourself fast and just move on and keep stacking votes towards your desired identity, toward the man you want to be. Okay? So, which means that many years of broken promises aren't like a life sentence. Think of it just like old data, right? And the new data, starting today when you follow through on your word, is what actually matters. And maybe this might even piss you off because maybe all this time you've been thinking like all your past mistakes and behaviors are like just defining you, and you're letting them define who you are today, like it's like it's some permanent thing. But you basically been walking around with a story that's already out of date. And again, you have no obligation to be the person you were 5 minutes ago. Then here's the thing that people get wrong about this, because you might think the size of the win has to match the size of the goal. You might think that to become a really disciplined person, the win has to be something like big enough to prove it. Like you have to like, just wake up tomorrow and be some David Goggins type of dude. No, actually, that's how you set up yourself for failure. You have to start small, stack the wins, even though they might seem insignificant in the moment, like all the times you skip the gym. In the same way, these positive actions, they might seem insignificant in the moment, like they're yielding no change to you, but in reality, they're stacking in the background. Okay, so so thinking that you have to do something crazy like wake up at 5 a.m., run a 5 kilometer cold plunge, like the whole gay productivity routine shit. That's so backwards. Like that's completely backwards. And I feel like that's the exact reason people quit by day 4. So, bro, stop trying to do everything in one day, okay? Just have to commit to one thing and get that small win. That's real evidence, no matter how small. A win is a win, no matter how small. Okay, understand that. So, 10 small wins in a row build a stronger identity than one big win followed by 3 days of doing nothing. Or or how do I say this? I mean, just kill that mindset. Just kill the mindset of that kill the mindset of that the reason you keep failing is that your goals aren't big enough, okay? You might have heard that you have to achieve big things, you have to set big goals. And true, yeah, right? Dream big, yeah. But you need to start by stacking the small wins first, those small votes, okay? And remember those votes stack and stack and stack and stack and stack. So when you're starting out again, you need small wins compounding. So let's go back to the actual mechanism, because this is the part that makes everything click for you. So listen up. The reason you feel good after you follow through on your word isn't random. Again, it's your brain taking in new evidence and updating your identity. That means the feeling isn't the reward. The feeling is the evidence. The actual reward is that you're basically rewiring your identity. You are rewiring who you are as a person. So the confidence you feel a week into keeping your word and doing positive actions isn't random. It's your brain running on updated information. Okay? And then acting according to that information. And your brain stops sabotaging you because it no longer holds the identity that says you don't follow through. Okay? It updates. And again, it's all about compounding. Each small win stacks on top of each other. And even though it might seem insignificant in the moment, they all stack up. This is why also forcing confidence through motivational videos never actually works long term. The thing is, you can't talk yourself into a new identity. You can't think yourself into a new identity. You can't just you can just think your way into like the ideal self you have. You have to act like him, and that's how you become him. That's the whole thing. Like, design your character. Grab a sheet of paper and design your ideal self. That's character design. What does he wear? What does he do? How does he speak? How does he carry himself? All these things. Be specific and vivid, and then just act like you're already him. If your ideal self, if the best version of you wouldn't be scrolling, don't scroll. If the best version of you wouldn't be doing that, don't do it. If the version of you would be doing this, do it. Okay? Act according. Use the character design. Use your ideal self as a decision filter. So again, one small win at a time. And you probably heard this a million times before, but motivation fluctuates and fades. That's why you can't ever rely on motivation. And evidence, actions are real and permanent, whether good or bad. So here's what you actually do with this. Don't pick something huge. Don't tell yourself you're gonna change your whole life tomorrow. That's how you set up yourself for failure, honestly. Remember, small wins that stack. Now, here's one more piece to this that most people skip past, and it's the reason like I feel like most guys keep the streak going for a week and then just completely fall off and never get back on track ever again. And it's not that they lost willpower; it's that their environment wasn't made to make it easy to follow through. Think about it. If your phone is sitting right next to you while you're trying to focus on something meaningful, eventually you're gonna pick it up because it's just there. It's accessible, right? I know you've been there before. I've been there before. We've all been there before. Same thing with food. If the junk food is in the house and reach, visible, you're not relying on a decision anymore. You're just relying on willpower. You're just relying on your resistance to not reach for the food and eat it. And again, willpower only lasts so long. So your environment either makes the win the path of least resistance or it makes the loss the path of least resistance. There's no neutral path, there's no in between. And sometimes it's always easier. I mean, something is always easier than the other thing. So look at whatever promise you just made to yourself and ask, is my environment set up for me to win or am I relying on willpower to overcome it? Move the phone across the room, throw out the food. Whatever equivalent it is for your specific promise, do it. Make it easy for you to win. So back to the main point of this. You don't need more discipline. You were never missing some personality trait that some people have and you don't. You just need one win, one small win your brain can ignore. Then another, then another, then another, then another. And again, they all stack until the identity your brain has built of you isn't the guy who doesn't follow through. And it starts being the opposite, the guy who keeps his word, who follows through, and who does what he says he's going to do every time. And that's it. That's the whole game. And again, it's not about motivation or willpower. It's just about small wins, votes, stacking one at a time, starting with the one you're about to cast today. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing. Right now, pick one thing, something like so small it may feel almost stupid, and follow through on it exactly in the next 24 hours. So tomorrow. Wake up when you said you would. Don't eat the thing you said you wouldn't. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you said you were going to do something and you did it. And your brain had no choice but to sort of log that piece of evidence, to stack that vote in the other direction, in the positive direction. Then try doing it again the next day. Try following through on your word the next day. All right? See how you feel. You'll feel weirdly optimistic and looking forward to doing that thing. Then try doing it for a third day and a fourth day, and boom. Before you know it, you're at 1 week. 1 week of you following through on your word. 7 days straight of you following on your word. Isn't that amazing? So that's 7 wins in a row. And I promise you it'll change your life. Go do that right now after watching this video. Make a promise to yourself, something small. And just be, I'll wake up at this time. And it doesn't have to be some crazy time. Like, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. Just maybe wake up, maybe even 15 minutes before you usually wake up. And follow through on it. Do it tomorrow. And then try doing it the day after, and the day after, and the day after. And then, for example, sort of curate your environment to make it easy for you to win. If it's the junk food, throw away the junk food. If the temptation isn't there, then there's nothing to be tempted by. It's easy. For example, me, if there was ever weed around me, I would want to smoke. But guess what? When there wasn't any around me, I didn't have the craving. Isn't that crazy? So again, just pick that thing, make that promise to yourself, follow through on your word. I promise it'll feel amazing. Your brain will get addicted to that dopamine hit, and you'll just want to do it again and again and again and again. Those small wins stack and stack and stack and stack. Those are votes towards your become your best self, your true identity, who you want to be, your ideal self. And boom, that's what I have for you today. That's what you do. That's the action step for you. So decide directly after this video. Don't keep binge watching YouTube videos, or just go, or don't go and do drugs. Okay? Do pick that promise after this video. Okay? And follow through on it tomorrow. That's it. Don't even think about the other days. Don't think about the other days. Just think about tomorrow and follow through on that. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you watching this video. I'm rooting for you. I want you to change. I want you to become your ideal self. And actually, and also maybe in the background, just start thinking about your ideal self. What would he do? Okay? And just act like him. And yeah, again, I appreciate you for watching this video, taking the time out of your day to invest in your education and in your well-being. It means a lot that you take the time to watch these videos. And if you made it this far, maybe leave a comment. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. That would be a new member to the tribe, to the identity maxing tribe. Leave a like. You know, it all helps. My dreams and hope, my dreams that I know will come true. And yeah, appreciate you, bro. I'm rooting for you. Go change your life. Become that guy. Peace.